Ghana was ranked the 7th dirtiest country in the world, would have improved. And even when an improvement came, if you take about 100 Ghanaians, you'd have only 15 persons having some access to good, sanitation facilities. Now I'm wondering, now this sanitation in Choco is nearly becoming like cancer in its last stage. It's like we're unable to solve it. Now this morning I've got Florence S. Kuchi, Director of Metro Public Health Department, AMA, and I've got my favorite speaker, Ado, Social Policy Advocate. Why is Choco like this? I'll go to Florence.
Thank you, Emifa. Let me use this media to say a good morning to all our viewers. The question again is, why is Choco like this? And the first answer I'll give you is attitude. Attitudinal change towards sanitation by our own selves. Attitudinal change towards things that are around or surround us. That is why Choco is like that. I'm saying this because the saying goes that water is life, but sanitation is dignity. If you think about your dignity, you do things right. I am not saying people at Choco are not doing things right. No. But sometimes, when you look at just the simple definition of sanitation itself, it's a way of life. And religion is also a way of life. If we practice religion cautiously, why can't we practice sanitation same way? People get up every morning, they do morning devotion. How many sweep their homes when they wake up in the morning? They expect somebody to come to ask them to sweep their houses. That is one.
Speaker, I'll come to you again before I even forget what you said. So you said that water is life.
Yes.
And then sanitation is dignity.
Yes.
What is dignity without life? Because the people do not even have potable water.
Yes.
I'll come to Speaker.
It's baffling because watching this in 2021, in a capital city of Ghana, gateway to Africa,
yes,
and deeply seated at the coastal level, I feel that we have not done enough as policy framers, enforcing regulations and laws that will also trickle down to the duties and responsibilities of citizens, knowing very well that how you treat your environment is how your environment will also treat you. So, garbage in, garbage out. We have not strengthened these local assemblies, as we were talking about last time, not giving them enough administrative powers, fiscal powers, and setting them up to be independent on their own, to take decisions that will inure to the benefit of themselves. So every planning should be more or less tailor-made according to the needs and aspirations of that particular locality. So sometimes, Emifa, most of these sanitation issues, most of these livelihood issues, instead of the various metropolitan, municipal, district assemblies taking charge, and as my sister said, orienting the people for them to know their rules and then their duties, most of these things are centralized. So you see that it is so far away from them. So if someone sits at the central level and takes decision without necessarily considering the needs, if a needs assessment has been conducted to know that the water bodies in Choco, these are the levels of turbidity, these are the levels of refuse that are being dumped in, this is the economic demographics of the people over there, and this is a sort of sensitization that they need. Has that been done? Or we sit at the level and think that because it's a coastal area, everything that affects Choco, everything that affects Elmina, everything that affects Keta is across board. Let's take the decisions and let's run with it. Amifa, we have failed. And I have gone a little closer to some of these communities. But watching this footage,
Yes.
and I feel that if it were to be far away from the capital city, I might understand that probably because it's far away from the confines of Accra and, for that matter, leadership. The leadership of Ghana is situated in Accra.
Auntie Florence,
Yes.
I'll allow you to continue with your point. So you started with what attitude?
Yes.
And I was questioning that. What is dignity without life? You
That
do
is
not
it.
have life.
I was really coming that because you can't have dignity without life. Nor can you have life without dignity because they move together. First of all, just as my brother rightly said, cabbage in, cabbage out. When you produce something, you must see to it that whatever is coming out is managed properly,
Okay.
so that it does not have an adverse effect on the environment.
I'll stay with you. How? How
Yes.
how do they do it?
Yes. For example, you generate waste. You must pay for the waste so that the waste will end at a proper place.
Ideally, where are all the waste that we're seeing at Chaco, where is it supposed to be ending at?
Yes.
Where's its end
I
point?
am coming to that point. You know, in the assemblies, we have what we call the polluter pays.
The what?
Polluter pays. The polluter pays. And waste collection has been given to satisfied waste companies. And all the areas have been shared among companies that collect their wastes. But the issue is, when you produce waste, you must pay for the waste. If a waste collection company comes to put a centralized container, the reason is accessible roads in some communities are not very good. And you can't go there with 250-liter bins for every household. Giving somebody 2-liter bin in a household, asking the person to pay maybe 15 cedis a month, people are going to complain that we cannot afford the 15 cedis a month. Because of that, a central container is placed at a point so that when you go to dispose of your waste, maybe you pay a little token of 50 pesos.
Okay.
So that with the 50 pesos, they can use to manage the central container there. When they leave the container to the final landfill site, they have to pay before they tip.
Give me a little clarity over there. Who has to pay at what point?
When the waste collection company who place the central container at a point, when the container is full and the person comes to leave the container to the final dumping site, you must pay before you tip the waste. Where do you get the money to pay to tip? It is by the small token you pay that will be used to pay at the final dumping site for the waste to be managed properly. But because people are feeling reluctant to pay for the waste we generate, Ghana, about 60% of all our waste are compostable. We generate a lot of organic waste than the inorganic waste. So if we practice waste segregation itself, we will not even have a problem with some of the things we see there.
So we're going to nearly the solution.
Yes.
Is this the case in Choco, particularly, that they do not want to pay for the waste that they generate, and so there's essential points that you're supposed to go and put there and pay a little token? Is this the case? Has AMA ensured this?
Yes, there is a central container at Choco.
Okay.
But you've seen how the central container is managed.
So in the video, the central container
It's overflowing.
So what? The person
and they
who's
are
responsible
not, they
for
are
that?
not cleaning the place. One of the reasons could be that people are refusing to pay the little token they are asked to pay for the person sitting around the container to manage the container
Auntie Florence,
properly.
what is little? What is little?
So
How much
let's
is a
say
person?
50%. Let me say 50 pesos. Because they pay with the central container, the least you can pay is 50 pesos.
Okay.
And they pay per the volume of waste you bring.
Okay.
Yes.
So there's a person who sits by the central
There's
bin
supposed to be
and it's managed.
yes, please.
Okay.
There's supposed to be a person sitting by the central container, receive the waste, pack the waste well in the container. When the container is full, then they will come and lift the container and put a different one back and send the other one to the landfill inside, go and tip it, and then come back. But because people are refusing to pay, you know, at the beginning I said attitudinal change.
So we have two issues here.
Yes.
The waste that they're generating at home, they're unable to pay.
Yes.
Because we've measured and they say it's too expensive.
Yes.
And so we've created a central point, which is supposed to be affordable.
Yes.
And they do not want to pay for that one too.
Yes.
And so the person who is supposed to go and collect the central point is also not doing their job. Is this private or this person is supposed to come from the assembly?
I think that most of them are contracts that are given to private companies. Some of the waste containers you see on them, the various metropolitans and districts, their names ascribed to them. But key amongst them, as we know, Zoom Lion and then Stanley Waste and others, as she said, it's been demarcated. So most of them have these to sort them out. So this is where it is imperative for these district assemblies to be empowered with their own waste collection trucks, so that the monies that are supposed to go to the private sector, at least, you know, private sector is there to make money, profit. So if we'll be able to reduce that money, purchase some of these waste collection trucks for these assemblies, enough of them. I mean, I wouldn't say they don't have. If you go to most of the assemblies, you see one or two these waste collection trucks over there. But is it enough according to the population size of the metropolitan, municipal, or district assemblies? And then also, MFA, let's look at the waste value chain.
Agreed.
The one who is creating the waste. The one who is coming to collect the waste. How much is supposed to be paid where this waste is being dumped?
Yep.
How are we utilizing the waste? You know, we talk about landfill site. Something might have happened in an area, we just want to fill it up. And before you realize 25 years later, other people come and develop their place.
Yeah.
But MFA, agric, as you said, most of them are compost. We can just re-engineer this waste for it to turn into manure for us.
So even if by the time we are getting to where we can recycle or use these organic stuff, there's still something that's supposed to happen in the community.
Yes.
The citizen would have to pay.
Exactly.
And then it has to be collected. The place needs to be clean.
Yes.
So that is more of a bigger picture. That's the end conversation.
Yes.
Once we stay in Choco, so there's so many things that were raised. You've raised the attitudinal problem. They're not willing to pay. There's no water. And apart from they, not willing to pay for the waste that it generates, there's some sort of a very indiscriminate way of open defecation over there as well.
I think it's because when you took the communities that are close to water bodies, there is this attitude of we see the water body as a dumping site. Most communities that are coastal, even those that are close to other water bodies, people generate waste and they feel that we need to feed this water body with waste. So most of the time, whether solid waste or liquid waste, immediately we pick them up, we dump them into the water body. The sensitization that has not gone on enough is that most of these water bodies are the ones being treated for you and I to consume. Now, so I feel that the 2021 World Water Day, it says that the theme is valued water.
Yep.
How do we value water at all? Let us break it down. You know you are in your household. You use water for any other thing in the kitchen. Industrialization, commercialization, water is essential to your health. So why would you as an individual, a sane person, see a water body, generate your filth at home, carry it in a basket or in any sack, then go in and just go and dump that refuse into that water body? As she said, it has to do more with attitudinal change. People need to know the rippling effects of their actions at the end of the day, how does it come back to me to affect me? I think that when we paint this using behavioral change communication strategies and then putting fear in these people that this ton of refuse that I've dumped into this water body, 5 years, 3 years from now, this is the effect. Video, as we have seen now, artistic graphics that we are supposed to show, and then also these assemblies going there to also design documentaries showing them the diseases, the illnesses that will come out of this. Until then, if people feel that the water bodies are supposed to be used as refuse dumps.
This picture of Choco, I'd seen even when I was 10, and it hasn't changed. It's even getting worse. So we agree that this attitude now change. And so people have to take responsibility for what the waste that they generate. What about the open defecation? What's causing that?
It's still attitude not change.
Are you telling me that houses have toilet facilities, but they decide to walk out of home?
What I am saying is people still have to change our attitude towards good sanitation.
How? Defecation.
You build a house, you build a bedroom, you build a kitchen where you will go and prepare food, but you do not have a toilet facility in the house. After eating, the waste that will come, where will you send it? When you are going to build a house, the first thing you should put at the back of your mind is to even get a toilet facility before a bedroom. You understand? People in the design, in the assembly, before a building permit is signed, or is permitted, you must have a toilet in the plan.
Who gives this permission? And what do they look out for?
Yes, the assembly, we have the fiscal planning department, that we have a strategic committee on that department, that we go to sit down to review permits and see to it that all the necessary amenities are inside the permit before the permit is being signed or released for somebody to use it for a particular purpose. People bring their building permits with toilet facilities in them nicely. The permits are being signed and approved for them. They go to build the toilet and turn the toilet into a room and rent because of money.
This is not to defend them. Good. You said because of money.
Yes.
I mean, who wouldn't do anything for money?
That is it.
And so, but who? So when you have just signed the permit because of what you've seen on paper, who ensures it? So or enforcing and insurance.
Surety and enforcement still goes on when you are building till the end, and even after you move into the house. That is why we have the environmental health officers or practitioners, where we used to call them saman or the tankasi. The saman and the tankasi yesterday are still there today. As I'm talking with you, I am a chief saman. Yes.
And what's your duty?
I am proud to be a saman because I have passion for the job. There's this jokes that they always say that it's only the environmental officer who prays that their clients will live in a clean community so that they don't fall sick. You understand? I am a saman. I go to everybody's house. I do house-to-house inspection. I go to house, madam, why didn't you sweep? Why did you throw the rubbish this way? Why don't you have a toilet in your house? Last year, I launched a project, 5 landlords to court every week.
That's your mission.
That was my mission. And I told my staff that the assembly is divided into sub-metro and subdivided into electoral area. So every week, each electoral area should bring me 5 households or landlords that do not have toilet facilities in their homes. And to interest you to know the number of persons we send to court, it will interest you to know the increment of toilet provisions that we had last year.
So
but there's a secret somewhere. And as he's saying, sometimes when you are trying, if you are not empowered fully, I go to arrest somebody who do not have a toilet, and I'm taking the person to court for the person to be asked to get a toilet facility. Then somebody somewhere, an unseen hand, somewhere, is ordering you to drop the case. Who am I? If I do not drop that case, I may lose my daily bread.
0302211693.
Yes, you understand.
0302211693 or 94. 0302211693 or 94. I'll put the telephone number on the screen. And callers, any callers, please mute your television and listen to us on your phone.
Yes, so you drop the case, and the person said, I'll see to it that the toilet is constructed. And for 1 year, those people have not constructed the toilet. And you dare not go to take those people to court, because the person will tell you, and I am like this, and I am like this, and I'm that, and you know, and if you want to say, okay, I want to know, you want to prove that the accounts will say,
but just a quick one on that. You realize that those who really send their building plans for permission and all that are not the ones who do all these things. Look at the architectural framework of these households that we saw.
Yes.
With these people, chamber and hall, self-contained, they don't send their plans there.
Let me probe further. Choco as a community, no?
Yes.
It's a fishing community.
Yes.
Is it supposed to just be a fishing community, or people are supposed to live there?
It's a hometown of people.
It's an indigenous
community.
Yeah, it's an indigenous community.
Because this conversation can take us to housing.
Yes. And if let me add this thing. You heard the assembly member saying that there should be subsidy of toilet.
Is there? Is there? What is the ideal amount?
The subsidy is there. The subsidy for the toilet provision is there. But as I said, the attitudinal change. People are still refusing to even go. Some people even pay as low as 500 cedis to get a toilet facility in the house. But they will still tell you the 500 cedis is higher. Let's do this calculation.
What if it's true? Genuinely,
yes.
500 cedis is a lot.
Let's do this calculation generally. And if you have 6 children in the house, including daddy and mommy, making 8. You don't have a toilet facility in the house, and you do not want to practice open defecation. You go to the public toilet. Now, the least a public toilet takes is 1 cedi.
Okay.
Multiply 1 cedi
by 8
a day.
A day.
Maybe a day. Somebody can even go more than once.
I see your point, but speaker, also like,
I mean, it's true.
No, but you see, if another person does hand-to-mouth kind of job,
yes.
So they don't have that bulk money and that, and these are natural. When the natural order comes, once you know the shit.
Yeah.
Right.
For room.
When we were doing these subsidies, we collected data. We did a community-based need assessment before we started with the project. People were told that we have microfinance companies that are part of the project. You could take a loan of maybe the 500 or the 1,000. Then the daily 10 cedi or 8 cedis you will use for the public toilet, you give it to the microfinance person
as repayment.
You understand? And this is a very good something somebody can do for you. I said somebody may go more than twice a day. So if you multiply this by 30, how much will you get?
By means that we need to
but
do
I'm questioning the fact that if you do not want people to build houses without toilet facilities, why do we have a public toilet sitting there then?
So that is the interesting part that sometimes I don't really understand. Having public toilets. Run up to the general elections, I was part of some consultations and other things like that. And you see MPs running helter-skelter to go and commission public toilets. They are so excited. And it means that at the detriment of these indigenous people, the politician wants to capitalize on it and say that I am here for you. Your needs are my priority. So give me the opportunity. When I go, I will do this for you. And public toilet. And people, it's a fanfare. Total chiefs will come, the ribbon is tied there, they will come and cut their sword for a public toilet, and people are happy. And let me find 21st century, we are happy to commission public toilet. Then it tells you that the social needs of the Ghanaian has not been factored into our bigger policy planning. The social needs of the ordinary Ghanaian, the economic demographics, and you see that the people in Choco, what is their main job that they do? How much can an average Choconian earn in a day?
Hi, let me go to Mampovi and talk to George. Hello, George.
Hello.
Good morning, George.
Good morning.
Please.
Concerning the sanitation issue at Choco.
George, kindly speak up.
Concerning the sanitation issue at Choco, I'd like to plead the government to hire more people who can change for them, because it seems they are not being able to do that for themselves. So should hire a juvenile young people, more of them, to clean there for them so that they will be clean. Thank you.
Thank you, George. If I get George, just says that persons who are supposed to ensure that sanitation is kept in that area are not able to do the job. That's true.
Emefa, when you use the loo in your home, does somebody come to tell you that flush it? You see, it has time we stop pampering people for them to take basic responsibility for their actions. I must be honest with you.
Okay. Hopefully I agree with you on this. Hello, Mercy.
Hello.
Hi.
Hi.
Yes. Auntie Mercy.
Yeah.
Please go on. Okay. I'm sorry, I lost Mercy.
We need to stop pampering people.
We'll come to the pampering. Let's explore the fact that you're telling me that if I am building my house, definitely I need to add the toilet facility in there. And you're giving me a place that I can use as well, public toilet. How did the need for public toilet?
Emefa, public.
Before you come down, let's go to Dancing and talk to Esther. Hi, Esther.
Yeah, hello.
Hi.
Good morning.
Good morning, Esther. Please go on.
I'm Esther calling for the summer.
Okay.
Yes, I was watching your program. I want to share my little opinion.
Please do.
But it's not only Choco. There's a better Kolebu. Kolebu, their main gate. When you walk through that road ahead to Choco Road, there's a small bridge over there. There's a gutter on your left hand. And by this time in the morning, even when you go there, you see the people skating in the gutter. It is very, very terrible. I always next time I go there, I have some friends there, I used to call with them. And there's a public toilet over there, but people demand to skate in the gutter. It always bothers me. So when I was watching your program, I want to complain that, so let's complain on that one too.
That's gutter at that place, eh? Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you very much, Esther.
The issue is about the toilet. You know, the public toilet is not for the people who reside within the community.
So,
Public toilets are meant for transient visitors who do not live within the community. So that when you find yourself in the community and you are pressed, you can easily find a place to release yourself.
okay.
But we have misplaced the use of public toilet to become a household toilet. Somebody will tell you, this is a public toilet. Why are you still insisting I get a toilet in my house? We forget that all good managed public toilets are closed late in the night. So in the night when you sleep and something strikes, where do you go?
Gifty, hi Gifty. Hello, Gifty.
Hello.
Hi.
Good morning.
Good morning, Gifty.
Please, I'm calling from Agege.
Yes.
And I also want to contribute to what you guys are saying.
Please tell me, how's the sanitation situation in Agege?
Bad.
Okay, it's also bad like Choco. And I want to agree with the lady there that most of them is the attitude of the people there. Because I know a guy who is a university graduate who lives along the coast there and is unemployed. So every morning he has taken it upon himself to sweep the beach and gather the rubbish there. And he directs people on how to even dump the rubbish there, but most of them don't even listen to them.
What's his name?
Even insulting and calling names. And it's very sad.
What's this guy's name?
His name is Michael.
Michael.
Yes, and he's a university graduate of Cape Coast. He He graduated, I think, in 2008 or so, and he's unemployed. And he takes it upon himself every morning to sweep the place and also direct the people. But most of them even call him names, and they don't even respect what he says. When he even tells them to dump the rubbish here or there. And the attitude is very bad.
Thank you for drawing our attention to this. We need to speak to Michael at some point. I don't know if you have his telephone number, but
yes, I do.
Oh, great! Do you have it offhand? Can I take it? Okay.
Please, I'm coming. Hold on.
Okay, so what you do for me is do not hang up. My producer will take the telephone number, okay?
Okay.
All right. Thank you so much. Thank you. Let's go to Kekeli, who's calling us from Tama. Hi, Kekeli.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning, Keke.
I don't have any problem with sanitation over here, though. But I wanted to ask, growing up, we have some people called tangas, right? Tangas from houses to houses to check if your house is neat or something like that.
Yes.
But nowadays, there's nothing like that.
Well, okay, so don't worry, Keke, I have their senior here, so we'll ensure that what they were doing first, they should do it the same way, though she's got some challenges, okay? But you know what, Keke, please look out for Tama New Town for me, okay? Let me know how the sanitation situation there looks like, okay? Next time when we're on the show. Thank you.
MFA,
yes.
For how long, as enlightened people, would we be told the basic things to do? Listen, I grew up in Koforidua, and anytime these Tangazo people will be coming, my grandmother, they will be shouting, helter skelter, running, telling people to put things, even utensils that we have not even washed.
Even human excreta. People will send it inside
the room and put it
bed.
The one
human excreta
in the don't say chamber pot. The other one. What is the other one? The local one is what?
The grabber.
They'll carry it and put it inside.
Okay, in as much as this is very laughable. It's quite laughable, but very serious in the sense that, I mean, if you arrested about 10 people, surely not somebody from the top would ask you to drop the cases of about 10 people. Have we punished people for people in the community to see?
Madam, you see, if we want to go by that, it means...
Oh, we have Justina from Choco. Hello. Hello, Justina. Yeah, ready. Justina.
Yes, please. Hello.
Please, where are you calling from?
I'm calling from Choco.
Okay.
Okay, what I want to say is, what our lady said was true concerning the attitude of the people. It is also one factor. And what I want to say is, it's got a time in Choco where
So you see, one thing that cuts across attitudinal change. How are we able to sit down and plan a campaign strategy to be able to hit people's emotions and tell them that, listen, these things that you are doing, these are the negative effects of the things that you are doing. It's been so many years. It's been almost about 5 generations in Choco. 5 generations in Choco. If the first generation did it, didn't the second generation learn from it? Didn't the third generation? So it's coming up, and now people are more educated now. Now that we are educated, I feel bad to see that in an educated 21st century, you still have such an environment that people are residing in it. And the lady said, that Kolebu area there, that where she talked about, I've passed there before.
You know what? We'll pick up this conversation because now we've put it in a perspective, which is attitude. So we'll pick up on this conversation. My time is already up, but thank you so much.
So soon.
I know when you're talking about these things, thank you so much, Speaker. We'll pick up on this conversation. Auntie, please, we'll pick up on this conversation. But I've got rights for you. I know you've seen a lot of field.
Thank you so much.
All right, from Royal Aroma. But at least 50% of women and even 66% of preschool age children suffer from anemia. And this is a research that was done by the University of Ghana in collaboration with UNICEF. Now that we know all these nutrients that we need,